Shane's Rib Shack, Thursday night, basketball in focus. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Got a lot going on with Shane's. Got the crazy weather outside. The snow has hit. Canceled a lot of games, postponed games now. Some games have been shut down for a couple of weeks. But nobody shut down. Nobody stopped the Vandalia Christian School Vikings. Got the championship last week. Second title in the past couple of years. Coach Ryan Nelson's with us. Big win down in Raleigh last week. Coach Nelson, take us back to it. Let us know what happened there. I was following you guys on the way in, following you guys on the way out, courtesy of Michael Fields. Give us some great information covering that tournament for us. The interesting I found, man, you went through a couple of interesting situations. One of those, you faced a kid who hit 50 points on you in one of the early games. You survived that. Then you also, I guess you probably pinched yourself in tournament two, thinking, looking around some of those teams that remain, we hit to the Final Four, teams like Alamance Christian School, they were gone. Gospel Light, they were gone. I mean, things just all came together right for you. And like I say, one of those early nights, 50-point game on you. You survived that against a very good. That kid was doing, when I was reading Michael's account, dunks going on you. He was going off, but again, maybe you had the team effort versus his individual effort. You guys survived that, but just a lot of excitement around what happened last week.
Yeah, it definitely was. Anthony Harris, I'll never forget that name. He, Raleigh Christian, he's a junior, 6'5". That was a Thursday game. We couldn't stop him. We went into the game knowing that Raleigh was going to be tough, and that I know Michael Fields. I found out Michael Fields was doing a kind of a not a play-by-play, quarter-by-quarter thing, and I really appreciate him doing that. But Thursday night, we were leading the whole game, probably about 8-10 about the whole game, and in the fourth quarter, Anthony Harris took control, dunking it, bringing the ball up, posting up when he needed to. Just took over, and we couldn't do anything about it. We were to talk about that game real quick. That was that game, like you said, pinch yourself. We were down by 5 with 20 seconds to go.
5-point deficit, 20 seconds left in the game. Wow.
We were my senior Bryson. I know he's here. You'll have him later on. He's a captain on the team, and 5 seconds down by 5 with 20 seconds to go, and we huddle. My last time out. And Bryson grabs everybody by the jersey and says, "Guys, I don't want my season to end right here. I don't want it to end." And DeAnthony hadn't missed a free throw all night. He's at the free throw line with 20 seconds to go, misses both of them. Both of them. Misses both of them. We drive down Noah Dunn, big guy. He gets the ball in his hands, shoots the three, makes it.
The big guy shoots
the three because they were guarding Cameron and everybody else usually handled the ball. So the big guy gets the ball, shoots the three. We foul him. There's about 6 seconds left. He's back on the line because he demands the ball. He's definitely was a good player. So he's on the line. We're down by 2 with 6-ish left, and he misses the next one. Hadn't missed none all night. Misses 3 in a row. So and then he makes the next one. So we're down by 3 with about 6 seconds to go. We went over this situation in practice. I didn't have any timeouts. The Raleigh coach didn't call any timeouts. So we know the situation. They line up perfect. We get a half-court pass, and then we see my senior Bryson Gordon and the top of the key, and he gets the ball with about 3 seconds to go. Let's go with about 2.5 at the buzzer, sinks to go into overtime. That game right there, we're all looking at each other. My cheerleading coach was with us. They were behind us, and cheerleaders were crying, fans were crying. We couldn't, because they didn't want their season to be over either. Everybody was just emotional. We're looking at each other. My guys were like, how did we just do that? Mm-hmm. We went into overtime, beat them by 8.
Wow. Once you got to overtime, you took over.
Yeah, we had the momentum. It was so loud at that point. We had the momentum. The fans was in it. Our guys, we scored 16 points in overtime. Usually, I mean, that's a lot in overtime.
Yeah, because you look at the Greensboro Day Wesleyan game a few weeks back in overtime, you had 2 points total scored. That was about it.
Yeah, we've been in 2 overtime games earlier this year, and like a 6-point and a 4-point. We scored 16 points in overtime. So it was definitely the guys wanted. At the end of the game, in the locker room, kids were crying. It was just we couldn't believe it. We knew that the stars were aligning, and Thursday night was one of the toughest games, but one of the better games to coach. I told my dad at the end of the game, I said, we need to go to the hospital because my blood pressure is so high.
Well, how do you get ready for the next game after the big one you had when you went in overtime and you're down by 5 points with about 20? How do you get ready for the next night? That's going to be tough because the crying's going on, all the emotions.
It definitely. We went to eat. what's funny about that is, last time we talked before we played Alamance Christian, and Jerry Bailey, great coach, Hall of Famer in my opinion, over 500 wins. They put a spanking on us after we talked. We couldn't handle him. They definitely brought it to us. So the game after we went on Thursday, they were the game after us, and I had film on them.
So you thought you might be seeing those guys?
Honestly, I don't know if the friendship coach will ever see this or not, but I honestly was thinking we were going to see Alamance again.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched the first quarter, and it was close, but I had film on them, so we're going back to eat, and we're going to the hotel, and I was actually going to watch the Alamance film just to kind of get some ideas and different things, and I get a phone call from the tournament director, and he says, Alamance lost, and I was just like, Alamance lost, and it was a shocker to me. I didn't know anything about Friendship Christian because we hadn't seen them all year.
So you've been preparing all the way along for Alamance. They got nothing on Friendship.
Nothing on Friendship. I wake up at 7 o'clock the next morning, Friday morning, and I'm calling 3 different coaches trying to find different things on them. Couldn't really get a nail about different players, and we ended up, we had the momentum, and it was actually their home floor.
Yeah,
it was
that
Friendship. They had a good fan base, but it was. They like to slow the ball down. Raleigh, we run and gun against them, and we like to slow the ball down a lot. But it's kind of funny how the 2 years worked out. Last year had a lot of talent, and we were the favorite, quote unquote, and we went against Raleigh Christian. They beat us. And then Alamance Christian actually played them last year, and then they beat Raleigh Christian by 20. And then Alamance in the championship game. Well, this year, quote unquote, Alamance was the team to beat. They were definitely they beat us during the year. I'm looking. This is going to be a tough game, and then they lose the first round. Then we turn around and beat Friendship. So the tale of 2 years, it kind of flip flopped on me and Coach Bailey. But the Friday's game was just a matter of runs. We got up, and then we kind of they hammered it. They chipped away a little bit, and then we just got on a run at the end, and they couldn't stop. Jared Tatley, he's here. He's one of the best free throw shooters. I'm not sure, maybe 90%, 90% free throw shooter. And we were only up by about 6 with 2 minutes to go. And they started fouling with 2 minutes to go, and I think he made 10 points off free throws.
Wow!
Because they'd foul him every time, and
he cashed in.
And he cashed in, definitely did. And then we won that game, and then we stayed in the hotel in Raleigh. I told the guys, tomorrow's the biggest game you'll ever play. I need you to get your rest. So they got the rest, and then we kind of went to the gym a little early, watched some the girls' game, and we played Wilmington Christian on Saturday for the championship, and we actually played Wilmington.
You played him earlier during the year,
in a scrimmage, and earlier in the year. I didn't have Cameron, my guard. I didn't have him with us, but they had a kid, Jonah Atto, and he hit 30 points in that scrimmage against us. And we ended up winning, but it was a scrimmage. We played it like a game, but it was a scrimmage, and I had film on that. So during the day, the guys, we kind of looked at that a little bit, but I don't know what I said to get the guys pumped up, but we came out 11-0 like that.
That big a run to start the game.
And the emotion, Wilmington was all about emotion. I knew I had to. I told the guys our goal was to try to take the crowd out of it, get our crowd in, but take their crowd out of it because we watched. They actually had an overtime game on Thursday, and then on Friday they blew out Gospel Light.
And they blew out Gospel Light.
They did, yeah, and then Gospel Light beat us during the year too. So when it comes tournament time, it's all up in the air. We played 26 games to get ready for the tournament, and win or lose, you always want to be peaking at the end of the tournament for the tournament, and we definitely were.
The year like 25-4. Right?
It was 25-4, yes, sir. Too. It was definitely when we played. A lot of people think Christian school that we actually we played. We didn't play in public schools like we did the year past, but we did play Caldwell in the independent league. Salem twice. We played Noose. We only lost by one the Noose in overtime. We were up the whole game against them. So we played some tough games. Community. They were a smaller school at a regional.
That's when you had the wild overtime.
Yeah,
and you handled them pretty easy the second time.
Yeah, second time they had this guy that averaged about 40 points a game, and he was their go-to. I think he was exhausted. He was a good player. We handled them pretty good. But the tough games got us ready for the weekend, and we played Wilmington. I told the guys that I wanted to take the crowd out of it, and I wanted them to feel like they ran into a buzzsaw, and we definitely did. It was definitely we played one of the better games. It's funny, real quick. We the first time out, we're up 11-0. I look at my dad and I says, I don't want to say anything to get these guys get in the way. Whatever I said before the game,
it's still working.
It's still working. So they called a full timeout, and the guy's sitting there. I actually grabbed a cup of water and I stood in the back, and I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, and my dad's like, "What are you doing?" I says, "I don't want to say anything to mess this up." So the whole timeout, I didn't say a word. They went out and we took care of business. I'm very proud of the guys. They deserved it. The 12 guys with me, they worked so hard for it. And like Bryson did that Thursday, grabbed him by the jerseys. Guys, I don't want my season to end. He deserves it. The team definitely. Nothing I did. Definitely the guys had the heart and the attitude. They didn't want to give up. They didn't want to give up at all.
Think about it. Good offensive effort that last game, 11-0 run to start the game, but also outstanding defensive effort too.
Yes, absolutely. I did a little something different against Wilmington. We usually run a 1-3-1 as a trap, but we actually ran the 1-3-1 just straight defense. We hadn't really run it that year. The guys knew it as a trap, but we played it as a defense because they shoot a lot of threes. They actually went 7 for 40 from the three-point range. So
40.
I knew that they 40, and we contended all of them. And so the 1-3-1, I felt my eyes help us rotate and get a hand in their face. They forced a lot of shots, but it packed it in it got them away from driving and forcing them to shoot, and that helped us a lot. So defensively, we only turned the ball over twice in the first half. Wow. And I know we forced them to a lot of bad shots and a lot of turnovers, but defense was spot on Sunday, or Saturday, excuse me. Definitely.
When you think about the teams that lost, like Gospel Light and Alamance, do they stay around that last day? Do the coaches keep their kids there and have them watch those games?
Yeah.
Or do they go home, they're just done?
Well, when you win on Thursday, you're guaranteed the weekend. Like Gospel Light won on Thursday, so they played Friday and lost. They played for the third place trophy on Saturday. Consolation game.
Was that Gospel Light versus Alamance?
That was Gospel. No, Alamance lost on Thursday. They were done.
Gone.
Yeah, they were done.
They lost the very first day.
They did, and they had Tim Clay, and he definitely is a good player. But yeah, they lost the first day, and I know. I talked to Coach Bailey, and he said they weren't ready for it. I don't know, but he is such a good coach.
Yeah, you think about what you've done. This is what your second year.
It's my second year as varsity.
Second year with the team. You won the state championship. You title in your second year, and you look at Coach Bailey. I think he's been there been coaching. He's been at Kerwin Christian before he came to Alamance. He's been doing this thing 34 years.
Right.
And he may have won a championship recently, but I think he may have only won.
I think he's won two or three.
I know he won one his maybe recently. Second year at Kerwin.
Right.
And if he hadn't won, he only won maybe just about one time in all those years.
Well, it's all about the guys. I tell the guys.
Timing is everything, isn't it?
It is.
The right team and the right timing.
Oh, definitely. I tell my guys and some of the different parents and stuff. It's not about, in my opinion, it's not about the X's and O's. It's Johnny and Joe's.
Yeah.
The guys that I can get in there and definitely buy into the system. I had 12 guys buy in. They did not give up. They did not quit. They did not. They bought in, and they definitely wanted it as hard as anything. But to answer your question earlier, Gospel Light actually ended up getting the third place trophy. They played Friendship, who we beat on Saturday. They beat them for the third place. But the coach for Gospel Light, me and him are really good friends, Jimmy Trexler. On Wednesday, his dad had a massive heart attack, and I went to the hospital. Me and Tommy went up to the hospital. Wednesday before the game. We went up there, and we were praying for him. And his dad is just a massive heart attack, and he coached the game on Thursday, won it. And after the game, he gets a call that they had to take him off the machines. There was no brain damage. So he lost his dad Thursday night.
His dad passed away.
And then Friday, he came back and coached. And what we actually did as a team, there's a rivalry between us and Gospel Light, but I try to explain it to the guys. It's more than basketball. Mm-hmm. Real life situation. Me and Jimmy are really good friends. So I actually went to Graham Sporting Goods and I bought 12 red wristbands.
Yeah.
And the team warmed up with the 12 red wristbands in honor of his dad during the weekend. And we didn't wear them because they don't match our uniforms, but we wore them during the warm-ups, and we had a moment of silence. So just the little things, the guys, it's more than basketball.
Sure it is.
And I don't know how he did it, but he was there the whole weekend. Very emotional for him. To win the third place was definitely big for him and Gospel Light. But the weekend was, the guys. It's all about the guys. guys for that weekend. So.
Tell you what, and a good thing is Shane's Rib Shack for this Thursday. Coach Ryan Nelson with us. His dad will join us in a few minutes too. Tim Nelson. We got Cameron Alston, Noah Dunn. Got Bryson Gordon and Jared Talley. Hope to talk to all those guys too. And Shane's is a good location. We learned today that the man in charge of the whole Vandalia organization, Vandalia Baptist Church, the Christian school, Mr. Oates, Donnie Oates is a regular customer.
Oh, he
here.
is.
So got a big shout out for Mr. Oates too.
Yeah, Pastor Oates. That's awesome. So.
And years ago, he was a basketball coach.
He was. He was the pastor when you were there, right?
He was taking over.
Yeah. I think he taught a class there.
I worked with him for a while. He actually coached 1 year while I was teaching there. He was the head basketball coach, and he was the soccer coach there 1 year also.
Okay, yeah.
That's a pretty good team.
He's still around. I see him a lot. He does a lot with the church, not as much as the school. But, yeah, Pastor Oates is definitely a big figure there at Vandalia.
And a good man to have around Shane's Rib Shack, and good to have Ryan with us again tonight. What was the feeling like after it's all said and done the day after? How'd you feel that day? That would be Sunday, last Sunday. How'd you kind of soak it all in?
It's funny you asked that. I didn't show the guys didn't really show emotion because we were winning the whole game. You know, we were up by 29 at one point. And it's sinking in during the game. And I was just so excited for the guys. Bryson Gordon, I actually coached him 8th grade JV, 9th grade JV, 10th grade JV, last year varsity, and this year varsity. 5 years I've coached him. Matt Hobbs, I've coached Matt Hobbs 7th, 8th, 9th grade JV, 10th, and 11th varsity. And next year I'll have them for varsity. I'll be his only basketball coach. So those guys that have been with me, worked so hard, it's all about them. And I was so happy for them. Actually, Sunday, after church, Jack Cleary, I don't know if that name sounds familiar, he takes pictures for the NCCSA. He was at the tournament, and he has a website, mx67.com, that has all the website pictures from the tournament. And I'm flipping through the pictures, and I see Bryson's last shot with 3 seconds left. I see that shot. And then the next picture Mr. Cleary put on there was the fans' reaction, and that's when you see the cheerleaders crying. And I just have a moment where all that emotion just hit me, and I was so excited for the guys. And I told my wife was like, "You're all right?" And I was like, "I know I'm an ugly crier, but I was so emotional for the guys." It was actually Sunday when it kicked into me, and then Monday we had a pep rally at the school. It was our only day at school so far this week. We had a pep rally. And one of the last hurrahs, I introduced all the guys, and they were very emotional. So it kind of kicks in, after the fact. But yeah, they deserved it. It's nothing I did in my opinion. The guys worked so hard, and they definitely earned it and deserved it this year.
Now Ryan Nelson's with us. How's the feeling different this year, being the head man, than what it was a couple of years ago when you won the title as the assistant coach with Tommy?
Yeah,
how was the difference between those two?
It's a lot different. I helped Tommy here and there. I helped him during the state tournament. Not as much though. I was there maybe one game. His son was actually the assistant coach, Luke Adams, excuse me. But the feeling is, even last year, Tommy had Ethan and TC and Joe coach under him, and that was his guys and some of my guys in there, and it was, trying something new. They were seniors, so, doing my system in a sense, and they were buying in. But this year, I've coached every single one of these guys from JV on. Jared Talley transferred over to us. Cameron was in my JV team. So the feeling this year is like relief for those guys. And I know when you have Bryce on in a minute, he actually did not buy a class ring. Last year, junior, you had to buy it. His philosophy was he wants to win a championship, and that's the God's honest truth. He did not buy a class ring because he wanted to win a state championship.
Championship ring.
And it was kind of looking gloomy there for a little bit, but he gets one this year, and that's why I love the coach. That's why I this year was different. It's all about the kids, and that's why I'm so excited for them this year.
So what do you do for an encore? Now all this is sinking in. You got 2 years as the head coach. You got a state championship, 25-4. Won that big game down late in the game. I guess 5-point deficit, 20 seconds to go. You pull it out and win it overtime. What do you do now down the rest of the way? I mean, do you kick back and take it easy?
Oh, no.
Hard, keep pushing forward now?
I keep on pushing forward. The bar is set. Not that anything, like I said, not anything I did. In my opinion, the guys deserved it. But I actually coached baseball with Luke Oates. We started baseball on Monday right after the tournament.
What did you guys do Monday? You having to go outside Monday?
It was actually Tuesday we started, excuse me. We had school on Tuesday. No, did we have school? Yeah, Tuesday. And we just threw a little bit, or was it Wednesday? Wednesday we had school. I don't know, my days are confusing me.
Be confusing.
It was Monday we had a pep rally, Wednesday we had the practice. And so I didn't really have that much time for it to kick in because I helped Coach Oates during baseball. But next month I'm going to start some off training for the guys. I definitely looking for next year. Noah's a 9th grader. Cameron's in 11th grade. He's definitely going to help me if all these guys stay in place. I have a lot of JV players coming up that Coach Brandon Feaster did a good job with them. Devin Resper, he's in 8th grade this year. He is good talent. He's probably 5 foot, but he is a good shooter. I have a lot of guys coming up that I feel like. Noah Booty,
yeah. One of the point guards.
He definitely will.
He's small too.
Yeah, Devin Resper and him, they played together on the JV team, and Noah definitely has a chance. He's spark plug. He's quick and sneaky. He reminds me a little bit of Cameron because Cameron plays such great defense. But Noah Booty definitely can do a chance. I know he'll probably get one more good year on JV. Devin may play both next year, but in my opinion, Devin is ready for varsity basketball like Noah was this year. So looking for the next year. I've got a lot of guys. If I can get them to buy in early like this team did, we can do something special next year too.
How much will you be involved with the baseball? That full-time assistant coach?
That is a full-time assistant. I'm more of the pitching coach. I actually graduated from Vandalia and pitched under Luke, Coach Oates. And so Luke got me as the pitching coach. I do first base for him. But I'm full-time assistant. We have practice 3:30 to 5:30. We have like 16 games, small schedule.
Anybody on the basketball team, on the baseball team?
Yeah, Bryson catches. He's my starting catcher.
That's good.
Matt Hobbs is a starting center fielder. Matt Morgan, he was the 7th man off the bench. He's a starting left or right field. And there's a couple other I'm missing. Noah actually plays golf. He starts golf this week.
He came from a good golf family, didn't he?
Oh, he does. Kendall, great golfer. So. A lot of the basketball players they don't go dormant right here. Cameron actually is going to start in basketball AAU coming up soon.
Yeah.
So
got
he's the only
coaches leading those guys.
I think Corvin Davis. I don't know that
Corvin,
name.
He was here last year with us. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
his daughter played at Vandalia.
Yeah,
also.
Corinne. Yeah, she's a good player. She has definitely some good hopes coming up being varsity next year. But Cameron starts basketball soon, and a lot of the players, Vandalia, smaller atmosphere, so a lot of the players play all three. Bryson played soccer and basketball and plays baseball. Matt Hobbs plays all of them. So you have a few like Cameron and Jared that only play basketball, and they concentrate on basketball all year, all summer, and get ready for it. So to win this year, like I said, it's so sweet for them.
I wouldn't mind seeing you guys are about the same height. I mean, it's almost identical in height. You guys stand side by side.
Oh yeah. I didn't get this tall until about 10th grade. I was always shorter than him. 10th grade.
You were in high school where?
I went to Southeast Guilford.
Okay.
All up to my senior year, then transferred over to Vandalia.
For your senior year?
For my senior year, yes, sir. I did not get to play basketball. It was actually after basketball season. Okay. I transferred in December, so I was already wasn't able to play baseball for Luke Oates. Actually, I did. Yes, sir.
What was it? What year did you graduate from high school?
05.
05. So you were at Southeast back in the baseball coaching days of Coach Coble or Coach Callahan?
It was Coach Callahan.
Yeah.
Coach Callahan coached me. Beasley, not the one that's coaching now, but his brother coached me in JV, and then Coach Callahan coached me in not Miller. His son went to one of the military schools to play. I can't think of his name, but yeah, he helped a lot. But you're
talking about Clint Moore.
Clint Moore, yeah. Coach Moore helped me with
Kevin Moore.
Yeah, Kevin Moore, yeah.
So you knew quite a few of the Southeast guys.
I did, and then we played. Northeast? He's pro. What's his name?
What are you talking about? Mitch Atkins.
Mitch Atkins. Yeah, my dad actually coached Mitch when we were in little league. Yeah,
Mitch, wow.
And we played them for an endowment game one time, and Mitch pitched against me. It was the first time I ever hit against him, and I was 90-some mile an hour. That was had a good time back in baseball. I miss playing baseball, but basketball actually is all my energy and all my focus now. So
talk about the good job these kids did for you tonight. They represented you well.
Oh, definitely. I'm proud of every single one of them that came. Jared, I'm not sure if I told you the whole story behind Jared. transferred with us last year, and I found out about his mom and dad and his grandma, and it was very sad. But he doesn't walk. He walks around with a chip on his shoulder, but he's not that kid that I need this. He earns everything. He works hard, and like when he came to Vandalia, he could have just been like, hey, this is my story, play me. Mm-hmm. He didn't. He worked hard. He earned his position. Bryson, being my captain, being my senior, I'm going to miss him the most. He could kind of lay back situation at practice sometimes, but in the game, like I said, that I'll never forget that. Thursday, down by 5, he makes that shot, but before that, he grabs the jerseys of everybody and says, get your heads where they need to be, and let's win this game. I don't want my season to be over. I don't want to be done on Thursday, and I'll never forget that. Cameron's like he said, I think he told you about the quarterback. I told him I wanted you to be the quarterback of this team, and Noah, they represented Vandalia well tonight, and I'm proud of them. The ones that weren't able to make it are, Tyler Crook. He also plays baseball with me. Matt Hobbs. I was just proud of all the guys. The 12 guys that ended the year, they deserve this championship. They worked hard and never gave up. Those 12 earned it, and I'm proud of every single one of them.
If you had to do it over again, go back, do the whole thing again, repeat it, even your basketball coaching career, you probably wouldn't do anything different?
I wouldn't do anything different. The only thing that I would think twice, we would run a lot more. I'm just kidding. Now, Bryson hated the running and doing the suicides and the box out drill, but I wouldn't change a thing. Everything that they did in practice, everything that we did as a coaching staff, got them ready for this. So.
Well, if you were on the island one-on-one, who would you play?
Definitely my dad. We hadn't played in a long time, but it'd be fun. He definitely could take me. He's a lefty, so lefties got that hook. So, but yeah, that's.
Were those good old days of the driveway games?
Oh yeah, we lived down near Pleasant Garden near Forest Oaks, a little community called Linwood Lakes.
Oh yeah, left-hand side going down the Liberty Road.
Yes, sir. They got a court, just a little square court with one goal, and we'd play down there when I was growing up. So we had to walk down the road, and we'd play right there. So yeah, I do miss those days, but I think I could still. He could probably take me 1 out of 10. That's about it.
So 90% of the time you got him, right?
I got him 9 out of 10.
He was a confident speaker when he was in here earlier about his game. That little hook, that left hand.
I love him to death. He's great. He's great dad. I'm glad he got to work. I know he said a little bit, but he is a hard worker. He gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and works until 3, and then he came to practice with me. And then games, we wouldn't get home till 10. He's up, and only 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So I'm just glad that I got to share this moment with him because he definitely kept me in place. But it's great, the father and son. Tommy and Luke got to do it, and now I got to do it with my dad. It's something that I don't think he'll ever forget. Something that I'll never forget.
If you had that snapshot, that little selfie, the photograph, the snapshot of your life, your basketball life, what would we see in that photograph?
It would be all the kids that I've coached all the way through JV. They've impacted me, my coaching career a lot. And not just because he's my father-in-law, not just because he was the coach before me, but Tommy. Last time I was on here, I told you that I actually coached under him as an internship when I was at Greensboro College, and I got a lot of coaching advice from him, and I still do. I call him every once in a while. When we lost to Alamance, I called him. When we lost to Gospel, I called him. He'll not just my father-in-law, but he'll be in that snapshot because he's impacted my life a lot, not just basketball, but life in general. So that would be.
You also teach at Vandalia, right?
I do. I teach computer, high school computer. Yes, sir.
What will you be teaching in that class if you do have school tomorrow?
School got canceled. While I was over here, they called and no school tomorrow. But what were you saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
How does the teacher respond to that? The teacher in you.
Well, what's funny is being a kid, being young, I'm 27. When you're a kid in high school, you always want snow. You want snow days, and then after 2 or 3, you're ready to get out of. You go out and play. You play video games, but you're ready to get back to school. As a teacher, I'm like, give me 2 weeks. And I don't mind being stuck in the house. The kids are funny because you'll see all the social media. After 2 days, I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to see my friends. And then the teachers will say, give me another day. Give me another day. So that's how the teachers react to snow days. Is I'm ready to stay home.
Today I was about about snow days and teaching. I said back when I was teaching on a snow day, we would actually get to school sooner than we went on the school day because we were playing basketball all day.
Yeah,
We'd get in that gym and we would play until the lights. We didn't put the lights on.
Oh, yeah.
We just couldn't get the lights on because they would see them from the street because of the little ceiling like they had there. But we would play until dark that afternoon. It was some great days.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, listen, keep up the excellent work.
And I appreciate you having me and my dad and everybody on here. I just want to, the cheerleaders and the whole school atmosphere, they gave us this season. The cheerleaders traveled with us. Miss Kim Hazelwood, she is a big part of my life too. She's been that snapshot. But that's the last thing I want to say is the cheerleaders and Miss Kim made this basketball season memorable for the kids. Got the school spirit up, and I'm just proud of everybody. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, I saw them in that photograph you sent us for your game report.
We went to South Point Mall on Friday during the day, and she didn't tell me, didn't tell the kids, and she dropped us off. She's the bus driver too, so she dropped us off, and she went somewhere, and we got back, and the bus is all decorated, painted up, and she made it memorable for the kids, and that's what I'm just glad that I got to share this moment with her and all the kids. And I really appreciate you having us on here today, and it means a lot to me in the school. So
we'll see you again next year about the same time.
I hope so. Thank you, Brother Andy.
You got it.
Thank you, sir.
That's it. Vandalia Christian School with us tonight at Shane's Rib Shack for the Basketball and Focus for a Thursday. Thanks again to Paul and Chelsea and Don Moore came in to make things happen tonight. Thanks to our good friends at Vandalia, Ryan Nelson, assistant coach Tim Nelson, Cameron Austin, Noah Dunn, Bryson Gordon, and Jared Talley. We will do it again somewhere next Thursday. We'll see you then.